Okay, so the next important things are comments. Okay, this is very important in any programming language because we are writing the code, so we need to provide uh, the comments also. Okay, um, so basically, comment should be very clear. Very clear means it should not be very verbose and it should not be, um it should be sufficient. Okay, and we should not, use these kind of comments in the code. This is not preferable at all. Okay, so basically, in Java, we have two type of comments: implementation comments and documentation comments. So let me show you implementation comments and document comments. Uh, this is implementation comments because this is one line out of comment where we can comment the one line. Okay, let's say I have to say int I is equal to 0. If I have to comment it out, I can comment this out. Okay, and another thing we have, so this is an implementation comment. Okay, let's leave it here, and this is also an implementation comment. Okay, to comment out the multi lines of code. Okay, now let's see. Comments should be used to give overview of code and provide additional information that is not readily available in the code. This is basically relates to documentation comment. Okay, so this is an example of documentation comment. You see this? This starts like a double asterisk slash plus double asterisk. This implementation code has only single asterisk. Okay, and this does not have asterisk. So it is saying the comment should be an overview what the method or what the class is doing. Here also you can see this is documentation comment. Documentation comments are useful to generate the documentation in the Java. We have tool, like we have some command. We will see that using that command we can generate the documentation, which can be useful for other programmers or other teams to know about the APIs. Okay, know about the certain method. One thing just I would like to say here, right? Today we think of, we think of API about the REST endpoint, but actually this is also an API, application programming interface. Okay, this is an API. Find by name is an API, application programming interface. It does not mean the term API is in this today world is more connected to the REST endpoint, but actually it's a method. Okay. So what I was saying is the comment should be giving an overview what the method or class is doing, or provides some additional information which is not readily available here. Readily available means uh, something that is not written in the code. Let's say I'm saying, okay, like this process method uh, is used to process the XML file. Okay, it although here the you can see the annotations parameter and the return. So that will also describe when the documentation gets generated. So it will say what is the parameter is required and what is the return type is there. So here we can either, if we want, we can mention or we can leave it, because parameter is also saying that if you have clearly mentioned what the return type or what is the parameter is there. So if you want to eliminate that information, we can eliminate that. People can check it from here. So provide the concise information, the process used to process the XML file. Here I can mention that okay, it takes the date of XML to process as parameter. This is going long. Date of XML to process the particular date XML. Okay, this is a simple overview. As if there is some validation, which but leave out about the validation, because validation would be clearly there in the code, or maybe it might be some inside some other method, and the method which is being called here inside of that method. So if you want, you can write about the validation minimum part of the high level statement for the validation. Or the next thing what we can mention is what it is not going to do. It means don't expect that it is going to do. Okay, like one thing I can say, it is not going to process the uh, previous month records, okay, or XMLs, something like that. So these kind of clear information which is going to help when there is some improvements to be done, some modification to be done. Okay, we can provide what the date format it is supported. Okay, like here the date format, what should be the input date format. Yeah, that's important. That should be, that I should have mentioned at the very beginning. Okay, so let's say it is passing a date. hmm? So we can say hmm, supported format of date. Okay, supported format for date, and we can define here the date format. Okay, uh, something like that. Okay, so this is what we can write in the documentation comment. Okay, let's see what else is there. Hmm. Implementation comments are meant to commenting out the code or comment about the particular implementation. Okay, so it is saying implementation codes are meant to commenting out the code or comments about the particular implementation. So as I already saw, commenting out means we can comment this statement is not going to run, this statement is not going to run. Okay, there is further other thing is that Mhm. uh, let me give an example. Let's say I'm just saying int wait time, okay, is equal to 500. Okay, here this implementation command can be used to give the details about the wait time. Okay, details about the wait time. What is the reason to take this 500 millisecond or whatever the reason to take this. So providing a little detail. Okay, so the implementation detail, this implementation comment is used for commenting out and commenting out the code and commenting the details. Okay, now what is next? Document comments are used to describe the specification from an implementation free perspective. Okay, so here one thing to notice about is we are not writing here what is the implementation here. It's already visible. What is going here? It is already, like we don't have to write. Okay, we will read the particular XML and we are going to take every element from there and we will trim out that content and send it to there. And no, we don't write to do that implementation details here, okay, because that should be clearly visible here. So what is the validation, uh, high level statement about the validation, supported format of input, that kind of, and then high level overview, what you can expect from this process method. Okay. And a specification, when here it is saying that a specification, that means we are already giving the specification is that okay, what is the input you need to provide and what is as a return you will get. Okay. Now, yeah, the same thing, comment should be focusing on overview and understanding about the code and provide additional information that is relevant. Okay, fine. Why not, what not to add in the comments? Okay. These are some things that industry also further, like who asked to make that change. Don't write any name like okay, I am changing this code because he said, or this ticket said. Okay. Source code should not contain developer names. We already have the class level, uh, the developer's name on the class level. Other versioning tools that maintain that. Okay, there are other source code versioning tools are there like Git, which will be maintaining there. So no need to add developer's name uh, or any ticket name. So okay. And okay, something like what we don't need to write, like what is the build process, what is the directory or packaging information. Okay, let's say we are writing some code. Okay. Okay, so this is a backup process we are trying to write. So we don't need to write the code, sorry, write the comment which is describing the any kind of um, directory or build mechanism. Let's say I'm writing some code here, and I'm saying okay, the string um, directory path. Okay, what is directory path. Okay, so I should not be mentioning that here. The reason also is, um, we should say maybe we are going to get it from the system root drive. Okay, system dot get root drive or something. Okay, we will get it from, but maybe two reason. Okay, first is that this is something kind of going to reveal the secret security, and the second thing is that uh, Windows system has other root drive name, and Linux, Mac, that machines has other root drive. So it is good to write the root drive. Okay, if we have to do something, although this is also not very preferable to write, and give the name of where something is getting stored or picking it from there. So okay. The next thing is that it's quite possible to get the comment outdated. So we should try to write the code that is self-explanatory. Yeah, one thing about the comment is that uh, when what happens in reality is when a new method is being created, at that time the writing developer, the implementation developer, the very first time the method is getting created, he try to give the full details in the comment. Okay. Clear details about the comment, but tomorrow some other developer get the chance to work in that method, he or she will forget to update the comment. Okay, so and it happens quite funnily. So it's quite possible to be the comment very outdated. So whenever in reality, whenever you get to chance to work on some other code, Yes, see the comment if it is already present there, but not fully trust. Okay, don't argue, don't make argument, or don't fight with the peers or some others, right? Like, okay, the comment is saying this. Okay, comment can be outdated. So try to see what is the implementation is doing. Okay, and if you are getting chance to work in the method written by someone else, update the comment. Okay, so that is one thing. So that is a reason we should try to write the code uh, which is self-explanatory. Declare the variable name, that is convention, and implementation should be clear and small method we should be create, so that it's easy to read and don't require any kind of comment. Lot of comment, that means lot of uh, uh, it would be understood as a poor code quality. Okay, means if you are writing a lot of comment, means you are writing uh, uh, poor quality of code, like your code is not explaining the detail itself. Okay, so if not necessary, don't write comment. Okay, try to write your code in a way, try to refactor your code in a way that does not require comment. Okay, but there is some situation, definitely there is some situation where we are compelled to write comments. Then do write comment, but also checks as at the same time, like, is it possible to refactor the code? Then refactor the code and make it clean. Okay, because commenting out is an option, giving comment, a documentation comment is an option, but we are seeing the challenges with the comment. It can get outdated, we cannot fully trust it. Okay, because it is just a comment, it is just a text, it is not doing anything in the execution of the code. Okay, so compiler cannot check it is right or wrong. Compiler will just see it as a text. Okay, fine. Hmm. Yeah, the same thing here it is mentioning. If you feel compelled to write the comment, consider rewriting and refactoring the code. Frequency of comment reflect poor quality of code. Okay, comments should not be created in large box, designed using special characters, something like this. Okay, this is not a good practice, but I'm sure you might have seen these kind of comment. Okay, implementation comments are basically of four type. Okay, block comment. We have seen this. Let's uh, block comment. Block comment is block comment. We just saw that. Okay, block comment. This is a block comment. Uh, Single line comment means short comment inside the method. This block comment can also be used here inside the method or for the single line. Okay, Mhm. This one or the short comment. Okay, okay, we can write here something like that, or single line comment. Okay, and what is next? Trailing comment after the code statement. Okay, so this is the same thing that I saw, like this comment can be, this comment text can go here. Okay, and what is next is end of line comment. End of line comment is this. Yeah, this is the same thing. Yeah, here it is. trailing comment, end of line comment. Okay. There is something about it. Uh, it can comment out the entire line or particular line. It can be used for commenting, but the multiple consecutive line of code. Okay, out. Okay, uh, it can be used for commenting out the multiple consecutive line of code. Okay, that means this line. I mean this tool, this implementation comment can be used for commenting out the consecutive line of code. That it means. Okay. But here it is saying, but it should not be used for commenting out multiple consecutive line of text. Okay, so let's see it carefully. About this double slash code, I mean double slash, the rule is that it can be used for commenting out multiple line of code. See, there are two line of code, string and int. It can be used for commenting line of this code, but it should not be used for writing the consecutive line of text. Okay, like I can say this statement is going to check. Okay, it's going to check the database, and uh, this will then perform something. No, this commenting tool or double slash is not allowed to do this. Okay, this is allowed to do this, but this is not allowed to do this. Okay, now the documentation comment. These comments are used to generate the documentation. It can describe the class, interface, constructor, method, and fields. We can also tag, return, parameter, and see. And HTML code in is also supported into the comment documentation. Okay, we will see that also. Okay, so yeah. Okay.